Hey you guys, welcome back and welcome if you are new. My name is Sam and welcome to my kitchen. If you have seen the posts on my community posts here on YouTube, you will know that we just laid my uncle to rest this past week. So it's been a very somber week and I am ready to get back into the swing of things. So we're going to start out with making a delicious Sunday supper. We're going to make a pot roast, but we're going to make it in the Instant Pot. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get out our Instant Pot. You can do this in the crock pot or on the stovetop. I, however, just did not have it in me to heat up the house. It was very hot today, and that was just not in the playbook for me. So we're going to do it in the Instant Pot. We're going to get a small roast. This is about a 3-pound roast. Either it will work just fine. Just season it up. We're going to do some salt and pepper. We're going to add some garlic powder and some onion powder. We're going to add some smoked paprika. If you don't like smoked paprika, you can just do regular paprika. I've got a few pot roast recipes on my blog, so you can look those up. I will leave a few in the description box below for you guys to check out. So we're just going to season that up. We're going to turn our Instant Pot on to saute, let that heat up. We're going to add a little bit of olive oil. You can do avocado oil or vegetable oil, whatever you have on hand will work just fine. You're going to put that roast in there and you're going to sear it on each side for about 3 to 4 minutes. Make sure you get a nice deep color on it. It's not going to be cooked completely through at this point. It's still got a while to go. So we're going to sear that up, take that out, and put that on a plate and just set it to the side. And then we're going to deglaze the bottom of the Instant Pot with some beef broth. And make sure you scrape up all of those stuck on bits because the Instant Pot is synonymous for giving you that burn notice, and it's just downhill after that. So make sure you scrape up those bits very, very well with that beef broth. So once you get that all scraped up, you're just going to add your pot roast back in, and you're just going to, now this packet here is the beefy mushroom, I think it's called, the beefy mushroom, I forgot what it's called, but it's like the recipe secrets or something like that from Lipton. You're just going to add that in there, but you can use any other flavor that you want. I always have these on hand, and it just works so well in pot roast. So you're going to put that in there, kind of swoosh it around a little bit with your spoon, and then you're going to add in some onion. My daughter made her a snack, so I just used the leftover onion for what she used, and then I added some whole garlic. I didn't mince it or anything like that. I just peeled it and chunked it in there, and then I went out to the garden and got some rosemary, 2 sprigs of rosemary, and threw that in there. And we're going to put the lid on this, and we're going to set this to seal and cook for about 75 minutes. You can go longer if you want to. 75 minutes just seemed pretty good for the day. So while that's cooking, we're going to make my dad's mayonnaise biscuits. If you have not had mayonnaise biscuits, they are absolutely delicious and so tender. You're going to love them. They do not taste like mayonnaise. You cannot taste it at all. They're really, really delicious. So you're going to put 2 cups of flour into a sifter, or you can just whisk it in your bowl. Works both ways. You're going to add some baking powder and some baking soda. Baking soda. I use the kosher salt, so I add that after I sift it. But if you use fine salt, you can go ahead and sift it. And then you're just going to mix that together. And then you're going to use about, I say, an egg sized shape of lard, but it's about 1/4 cup. You're going to add that in there, and you're going to crumble this up. You can use your hands, you can use a pastry cutter, a fork, whatever you want to do. It works just fine. So just make sure you get that all crumbled up, nice and crumbly. You don't want it to be completely mixed in. You'd still want a few larger crumbles of that lard or Crisco or butter. All works fine. And then you're going to add in about a cup of buttermilk. It just depends really on the humidity. So I would add about 3/4 of a cup, and then add more if you need it. But before you mix it all the way in, add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, and then finish mixing it in until like the flour comes from the sides of the bowl. Now you might have a few little bits of flour at the bottom, but that's okay. It will get mixed in as you pat it out. So lightly flour your surface, and then you're going to gather up your dough, and then you're just going to put that onto your floured surface, and you're going to pat this out. It's kind of sticky, so you'll want to add a little bit more flour as you go. You don't want to add too much. So put that down, kind of flip it over on itself, spin it around, pat it out. You can do this 2 or 3 times, or you can just pat it out and just cut out your dough with your biscuit cutter. Either way works fine. So you're just going to pat that out, and then you're going to cut out your biscuits, and then put that in a greased or buttered skillet or pan. You can put these on a parchment lined sheet tray. Either works fine. So just make sure that you don't, like when you cut down into your dough, don't twist the cutter, just go straight down and come straight back up. And you'll get those biscuits to rise beautifully. Now with this, I am using buttermilk, but you can use heavy cream, you can do milk, you can do an egg wash, or you can do butter. Whatever you want to use, it will work fine. This is just what I had out, so this is what I'm using. And then you're going to bake these at 425 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. If the tops do not get as brown as you want, you can certainly put these in the broiler for about 2 to 3 minutes. I would watch them very carefully, because some broilers go a little bit hotter than others. So I would just pull them out as soon as you start to see them turn brown, and then let them cool, and then put them in your bread basket. While those are going, we're going to make my mom's potatoes. I have no idea what she calls these. Her dad made these for her and my aunts and uncles when they were growing up. So I just call them my mom's potatoes. They're so simple. They're kind of like mashed potatoes, but they're just kind of chunky. But they're really good. You got to try them. They're so easy to make. So you're going to peel your potatoes. Make sure you wash them first. Peel your potatoes. Chop them up into cubes. Put enough water in there just to cover the potatoes by about maybe a ½ inch or so. And then you're going to put these on the stove. Add maybe 2 or 3 teaspoons of salt. Make sure you season your potatoes before they start cooking, so that way your potatoes are seasoned from the inside out. And then you're just going to cook these until your potatoes are tender. You don't want them mushy, you want them tender. So as soon as they get tender, you're going to drain out most of the water. So leave just a tiny bit of water at the bottom, and then you're going to add between a third of a cup to a half a cup of milk. If you want them a little bit more richer, I would do heavy cream. They both work good, but I've always done it with milk. And then you're going to add a little bit more salt, and you're going to give that mix. Here I'm adding a flour slurry, so it's about half of a tablespoon of flour with about not even a quarter cup of water. And you're going to add that in there along with some pepper. You're going to mix that up, and you're going to let this cook on medium low-ish heat until it is like thick. It's not going to be like gravy thick, but it's going to be thicker. So I'm just going to set that to the side while we finish up our pot roast. Now here I'm just removing the rosemary stems, and I'm going to take my roast out and put it on this platter, and then we're just going to shred this up. Now I like to leave this in rather bigger chunks, but if you want it shredded down a little bit more, by all means go ahead and do that, but I just like to leave it in bigger chunks. So make sure you get that all shredded up. And it's very tender. It's not as tender as I wanted it to be, but it's dinner, and it was tender, don't get me wrong. I just like it a little bit more tender than what it was. So I'm just going to shred this up into bigger chunks, and then I'm just going to take that leftover rosemary, and I'm just going to pull these sprigs off of the stem and sprinkle that all over, because we're going to put this in the gravy when we make the gravy. So now we're making the gravy. We're going to take all of those drippings from the Instant Pot, and we're going to put this into a skillet, or you can put it into a pot. I'm just going to use the pan that I cooked my biscuits in. I just wiped it out. It's good to go. You're going to add all of those drippings in there, and you're going to add all of your seasonings. I've got garlic powder, salt, pepper, all the yummy stuff. And I've got some tomato paste that I'm putting in there, as well as some Worcestershire sauce. And one of my secret ingredients for brown gravy is the browning sauce. So good for brown gravies, soups, and stews. You're missing out if you don't add this to your soups and stews and gravies. It's just wonderful. So I've just got that all in there. Give it a good mix together, and I'm going to let this cook for about 5 to 10 minutes just to reduce down a little bit. And then I'm going to add in a flour slurry. So this is about just under half a cup of water and 3 tablespoons of flour. I mixed it in really well, and then I poured it into the gravy, or into the stock here in the pan. And you're just going to cook this until your desired brown gravy consistency. Once you get it there, you can go ahead and add in some butter. I just added in a tablespoon of butter, and it's going to make it a little bit more richer, and it's going to give it that beautiful gloss to your brown gravy. It's just absolutely delicious. You certainly don't have to add that butter if you don't want to. And then you're going to add all of your meat back in, and you're going to toss it in that gravy, and you are good to go. Everything should be done. Now I did make some corn to go with this, just some simple buttered corn that I cooked in a little bit of broth with some pepper, and I added some butter there at the end. Super simple, but so delicious. And now we're going to plate up everything. So I weigh my food out because I am on a weight loss journey, so I'm kind of doing the macros thing trying to hit my protein goals, you don't have to do that. You just make yourself a plate and you call it good. But I'm adding my roast and gravy, and then I'm going to add some of that delicious corn, some of my mom's potatoes. They're nice and thick, and they're just so good. I highly recommend that you try these. They're absolutely delicious. And then we're going to get one of those delicious buttermilk mayo biscuits. I highly recommend you try these too. I will leave all of the links for all of these recipes down below so you can try them all out. And I just went in with some extra gravy on my biscuits because why not? It's a biscuit and gravy goes good with it. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you all so much for being so patient with me this week. It's just been a heartbreaking week, and again, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment in the comments section down below, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all again next week with a brand new video. So I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, you guys.